Hello and welcome to our inaugural stream. My name is Timofey Dorovskih, and thank you everyone for joining me today to discuss and to find out more about Russia and what it's like to live here. And for those who are interested in moving, we hope it will be an interesting stream for you. And without further ado, let's go to our presentation today. So, as you can see, we are talking about moving to Russia, how and why. And let me forward this. First of all, who are we? I represent an independent non-profit organization called LR Consulting that is living in Russia, and we're hoping to give you all the needed information on how to move to Russia. So what we do, what is our goal? We want to help everyone who wants to move from Europe or North America or other Western countries with traditional values to Russia, hopefully, and we're looking for people of the same mind, attitude, those who believe in the same values that we believe in Russia, and we're welcoming towards anyone who's coming here in good faith. So what can we do for you? It's give you a basic understanding of what Russia is like. Now, of course, there is a lot of content out there, but we're trying to fill in those gaps where it's maybe not very clear, and mostly that's what we'll cover today. Second thing that we aimed at is to help you and inform you on the work opportunities and economic conditions in Russia, since it's a big question when you're moving anywhere, and especially in these times, and especially with Russia now. And also, if you're, of course, looking to go to another country, you're thinking about your children, you're thinking about your education, and that is as well what we want you to find out more about, and what we're ready to share with you. And of course, provide you any information, important advice on legal issues, answer your questions that are related to it. So, what we will cover today is a few things. It's overall attitudes towards foreigners in Russia, and how you can get by with or without knowing Russian language. That's what we will find out. We will talk about basic realities of Russia, and the most relevant questions when you actually come here. We will look at the main paths of moving to Russia, how can it be done, and what you can actually do to do so. But we will cover mostly it's on later streams, but we will touch on that. And also we will answer your questions. So moving on, of course, the main question you will ask is when considering such a big decision in your life, is it possible to move to Russia? And could be many questions like around, is it maybe a crime-ridden country, or like are people still communist there, or is it maybe it's too cold, or maybe it's too difficult to learn the language, or people are not that welcoming. But we will try to touch on maybe not all of these worries, but we'll cover a few of them today. And the basic answer from us is, of course, yes, you can. It is possible to move to Russia and set up your life here, and we're here to help you. So the first question is the economy, and we will cover this topic with the topic of the possibilities of finding out work in Russia on the next stream. Hopefully it will be in a week time, but let's let me share with you a few numbers right now. And as you can see on the screen, there is a nice article in the Hill paper or their website that is asking the question of why do Russians appear to so satisfied despite the war in Ukraine? And of course, yes, if you look at the stats, it looks quite not that bad. Russia is the fourth largest GDP in the world. If you look at the purchasing power parity, it has 4.7% GDP growth, and there is almost no unemployment right now. It hovers somewhere about 1.2% and 2%, somewhere in that region. And well, lower tax regime, well, compared to Europe, certainly there were some tax hikes starting this year, but overall it's quite friendly for most people. Moving on. So, okay, you will say that, well, the numbers looks good, but what about, is there actual examples of people moving to Russia and having a success? But here is an interesting story from Orenburg, and this is Martin. He has his channel and Telegram channel and YouTube channel that you can find out. Here is Russian Travels blog, and he moved to Russia in 2022 with his wife and his children, and well, he is pretty happy and satisfied, and well, his story is quite remarkable because not only he moved to Russia in these tumultuous times, but it turned out there was a surprise for him because the natural disaster struck in Orenburg, and the flood was so huge, as you can see on the picture here, that his house was flooded for like a few days, but he went to work afterwards and rebuilt it, and quite satisfied with his life. And I highly recommend to go and watch his channel, follow him on Telegram, and you will get a lot of interesting information about life in Russia, and especially his perspective is more interesting maybe than others because he lives not in the biggest city in Russia, and I think he's not even in the city itself. He's somewhere near Orenburg. But yeah, it's a quite remarkable story, and it's not only one. We will be sharing more with you on our Telegram channel, and overall you can find a lot of these stories on YouTube. You just like type life in Russia experience, like going day to day work or something like that, and you will find quite a few stories from a lot of Western people who moved here and feel quite satisfied and can share with you lots of things. So moving on, another question that you might have is there like a cultural dissonance if you're moving to Russia? Like maybe people are not very friendly to the West overall. Maybe Western culture is looked down upon, and in light of recent events, somehow the attitude had changed. But I would say there is none of that, and the Western culture, high culture, is held in high regard. And you can go to many museums, like Pushkinsky Museum in Moscow, or many others. For example, you can go to St. Petersburg, and it's like full of European artifacts and everything that is good about the West. And yeah, people love to visit these exhibitions and galleries and so on. So you won't feel alienated here. Yeah, you can be sure. And of course, there is also many concerts of classic music available to you, especially in Moscow. There is a huge scene. There is conservatory, there is Bolshoi Theater, Mali Theater, and so on. So always welcome. And in terms of pop culture, yeah, maybe Netflix stopped streaming here, and thank God. But overall, you can find people know, of course, all the movies at least most of them, and listen to the same music. So it's not that alien. Of course, there is a lot of Russian movies and lots of music. Well, I would say the recent productions of Russian cinema is not that good, but well, there is lots of good things to see. Anyway, but moving on. Let's discuss the question of how difficult is it to communicate with people, and the often we'll look at the question of, people in Russia don't smile, they're very grim, unfriendly, and so on. And yeah, compared to like maybe France, Germany, it's not like a habit of politeness to smile all the time and be like, yeah, hello, welcome, sorry, apologies. Yeah, people usually are very calm and are deep in their thoughts, I would say. But overall, yeah, if you start talking to people and asking, get to know them a little bit, they are always open, or most of the time, mostly open and friendly, and will be happy to answer your questions, and in all sorts of ways, you will find them quite interesting. But generally, yeah, I don't think it will be the biggest clash between what you see at home and here. Many people who move here say that they felt even like overwhelmed with friendliness and kindness of people. Well, I don't know. Myself, don't have that much to compare it with other places, but at least there is this view often from what I hear. But knowing the language will help you a lot. I would say the most important moment is if you know English, yeah, you can get by in big cities like Moscow or St. Petersburg. It won't be hard to like find the directions, order something from the menu. You will find the interfaces of the apps, of native apps, Russian apps, being translated into English. Menus will have English text. Signs will have their names in Latin also, and not only in Cyrillic. So you won't get lost, and you will be able to get by. But overall, I would say the knowledge of English, even in big cities like St. Petersburg and Moscow, is relatively low. And if you want to actually live here, it is important to start learning Russian. We also can share with you, and we will share with you some information on where to find the best guides, teachers, what's the best way to study language. But overall, it is a very good idea to start before you come here. But for the just for the guest visit, there is no issue not knowing the language at all. So, moving on. Another worry many people might have is, is it too cold in Russia? Maybe I'm coming from Florida and want to live here, live in Russia, but maybe there is a piece of the land that is somewhat the same like there, and you might be amazed to find, but there is. Not all Russia is cold, even though, it's a northern country, of course, for the most part. Not many people live in Siberia, by the way. Most of the population concentrated in European region, but all the regions have their specific conditions and special benefits to them. If you look at St. Petersburg, it has white nights during summer. It's end of June when you just it is bright outside all the time. It's just the night lasts maybe in about an hour, and in 4 in the morning it's sun again. So very remarkable times. Even though it's up there in the north, it's quite cold. And if you go to the central European part, like Moscow, and a bit to the south, the weather you will have all the seasons. The summer will be hot, the winter will be cold, the spring will be beautiful, and with all the blooming trees and so on, and the autumn will be autumn. But you can move to the south of Russia, and there you will find the climate that is closer to the climate of Europe, where it will be winter almost without snow, or there will be snow and it just melts away. So it's quite... and also there are big cities, like you can go to Voronezh, for example, and it's not as advanced as Moscow, of course, and some other cities, but there are all the modern necessities are present, and it's also quite a modern city. And if you go even more to the south, to the near Caucasus region, there is a bit of subtropical climate out there, and there is mountains there, so you can go skiing during the winter, and you can go to the beach during the summer, and the weather is quite remarkable there. So if you're from Florida, you're in luck. You can find a bit of the samey climate in Russia too. So, on the questions of safety, is it safe to visit Russia? How dangerous is it? What's the crime levels and so on? Well, I haven't prepared for you the statistics, but overall, I should remark that on one hand, related to the current situation, there is no curfews, there is no wartime economy that you can feel in your day-to-day, and no patrols and so on. But on the other hand, it's quite safe. The police is out in the streets, and if someone does a crime, he'll get punished. So you won't see any shoplifting tolerated, and burglaries and so on. Streets are safe. You can go out during the night, walk around, and you will be fine in Moscow or St. Petersburg. Yeah, there are some maybe places that are not that safe, but overall there is quite a strong no tolerance policy towards criminals and crime, be it a petty crime or else. But on the other hand, in Russia, you can't own guns for most part, even though there are some exceptions for the private citizens. But I would say it's closer to European realities in that way. But talking about other things like what's like to live in Russia in terms of services and things that you have to file papers and so on. In terms of bureaucracy, I would say on one hand, yeah, there is quite a lot of it, but on the other hand, it got really seriously modernized in the past, maybe 10 years or so. There is a special website, for example, called Gosuslugi, where you can do quite a few things like pay taxes, get your doctor's appointments, apply for many things, for marriage, for example, even. So many services they just provided online. You don't have to go somewhere, stand in line, and so on. Though in some to get some services you have to, but overall it's quite friendly and quite helpful. Also, yeah, you can just download an app and do many things out there. And in terms of other services, non-government services, digital infrastructure in Russia is quite strong, and you have apps for basically everything. You can order food, move money easily, deliveries also on your phone, in your hands at any time. So don't worry about that. Not maybe very few services, I would say, that are available in Europe or America isn't currently available in Russia, but there are strong native competitors, native-born applications like those from Yandex, for example. And overall, if you want to live in the big city like St. Petersburg or Moscow or Kazan, most of things are available 24/7. Maybe even especially in Moscow. So if your dog got sick, you can find a vet in the 3 a.m. Maybe not all over the city, but you can find him, no problem. Or do a haircut, or use a bank. So you have an app for that. Medical aid, of course. You can do your shopping, groceries, or otherwise. So in terms of if you want all the services, Moscow, I would say will give you 100%. St. Petersburg maybe will give you 90%, and the other cities will hover around 80%. I would say, at least big cities. Moving on. Looking at the most important apps that you can download and use in Russia, especially if you want to visit. If you're going to visit, first of all, as I mentioned, of course, quite a few services don't work currently in Russia, by the way, in terms of big social networks. Facebook is unavailable in Russia. Also, Instagram is unavailable in Russia, even though you can use WhatsApp, no problem, which is a funny bit. And YouTube is have quite a few issues. Its traffic is slowed down. So you can make note of that. But overall, a little side note on the internet. No, there is no firewall, great firewall of Russia. You can call and easily communicate with your friends and family outside the country, and it's mostly no trouble. But if you want to book a place to stay, you should note that Airbnb and Booking.com aren't working in Russia, but it's by their choice. Not they didn't get outlawed in Russia or something. But there are, for example, here's a few contenders. Good services that you can use is One2Trip, Astrovok, and Yandex Путешествия, Yandex Travel. So you can go look a place to stay there. And if you prefer an apartment, you can even rent an apartment. There are such websites and apps like Cyan and Avito. And by the way, if you even look into purchase land or see what it's how much the apartment costs, you can also go to Cyan and Avito, and you will find out it's very comfortable sites to use, and you will get all of the answers there. So moving on, in terms of communication with people and reading and finding out the information to translate what services are better to use. Those are, well, I would say in descending order. The least useful is Google Translate. It mostly works well, works fine, but it makes a few mistakes, I would say. Though voice translation is could be very helpful and available on most Android phones. Yandex Translate, that is a native service, works quite well. So if you feed it some text in English or French, it will translate it into Russian in a very good form, and you can use it no problem. But the best one is DeepL, in my opinion, and I use it personally quite a lot. And you can find it on any like Google Play, or just go to their website. Very good service, and it will even some official documents and so on. It will translate it very, very well. So I will recommend it to you. Let me hide for a moment. So another bunch of apps that could be useful if you already decided to move to Russia, or at least you want to plan and understand what work opportunities are available to you. And we will talk in the next stream about them quite in depth. And we'll share all the contents that we can. What services you should go to? Well, first of all, go in terms of banned websites. LinkedIn got banned in Russia maybe like 8 years ago or even longer. For some reason it got this with strict treatment long ago, before all other websites did. But some high-profile companies still use it and still looking for people, for example, like in IT sector and business. You can look at LinkedIn. But the most popular website for all sorts of jobs is Headhunter, headhunter.ru. So you can go there and look for all sorts of jobs all across the country. But I would say if you want to find some specific job in some specific sector, a lot of groups, some are private, some are public, but are spread all around the social media networks like Facebook, also banned in Russia, but still works, Telegram and VK. There are groups that are collecting these job offers, and you can find them there. But you have to dig for them, find out. Some groups could be like with fake jobs sometimes. Some groups just not very active. Some groups are maybe focusing not on exactly on what you want, but overall it's very workable solution to find what you're looking for. Hopefully we will try and share a few of them with you in the future. But let's have a little break, and here's some quiz for you. So how much time will it take you to open a bank account in Russia? So I'll give you 10 seconds to think about this question, and the options are A, less than 3 days, B, 1 week, C, 1 day, D, about 2 weeks. Well, we are not making bets, and you won't win any money, but you should agree, it's nice to give a right answer to a quiz question. So I hope you've decided with your answer, and let's look at the right answer. The right answer is A, less than 3 days. Well, sometimes it could be even faster, yeah, it could be 1 day, but overall Russian banks are quite efficient, and again there's websites and apps that they are working through, and you can do at least like individual all the services for their personal banking they can do quite easily. But what is required to get a Russian bank account? First is buy a Russian SIM card from a mobile carrier. And I would say we've posted already, if you go to our Telegram channel, you will find out the more info on that. But there was some change in how much, what is the regulation to obtain a SIM card in Russia. Since it just was introduced from the beginning of the year, it's unclear how it will work exactly, but we will see. But I should know that at least it's very cheap. The average monthly plan is about $7. So when you obtain the SIM card, you go visit the bank office and order, or you can order it online. And afterward, you get your credit card or just debit card in under an hour if you go to an office, or it will be sent to you by a courier in a moment, basically. Also, if you have installed your banking app, you will be able to transfer money through the special system called SBP. You can use QR codes to pay things in shops, and you can just knowing the phone number of the person, just transfer him quite a lot of money with no issues, no questions, just in a few seconds. But there are some limits to that. And also important thing is that Visa and MasterCard are not working in Russia, so if you're going for the guest visit, don't forget to bring cash with you, and you can just change it for rubles when you arrive to Russia. So talking about an important moment is there are 3 things of settling in Russia, like 3 broad categories. And you have to get a temporary, 3 main steps, I would say. How you can move to become Russian citizens. First, you get temporary residency permit. Then you get residency permit. And after that, you can become a citizen. There are some ways in which you can just either get right away a residency permit or get citizenship, but it's some rare cases. All this is described in our guide that you can find on our website. So please visit it for more information. We will share the web in a moment, the link to it if you don't have it still. But what are the main paths of moving to Russia, and what kind of visas are available to you? We will just cover these very briefly, and in later streams and later videos we will share with you more about it. Though you can go to our website again and find the guide that talks about it in depth. So the first one is work. There is a few special kinds of visas that are provided to people. For example, there is a high qualified specialist. If you're a person of this kind, you can confirm your experience as, example, engineer, or maybe a doctor, medical doctor. You can get this visa, and for example, you don't have to pass language tests and so on, and have this visa work for you. And while you work for your employer, you will have this visa working. Also, there is always education. So quite a few Russian university provides very good education on the level of that is recognized worldwide. I would say the strongest education, the best education in Russia is in engineering, medicine, medical education, and IT. So you can look on different universities, look up their programs, and again, we will have a stream a bit later on that one, hopefully maybe next month. So subscribe please to our channel and subscribe to us on Telegram, and we will share this information with you. Another broad category that we cover in our guide and overall is investment. If you want it fast and easy and you have money, and well, you can just pick, it could be fast, easy and cheap. Well, if it's not, it could be fast and easy but not cheap. You can either buy a good property here in Russia, or invest into the business, or be a charitable person, and literally and your donations or your investment will give you an opportunity to get a temporary residency permit or residency permit, well, depending on the exact path you choose. And there are also other ways to go to stay in Russia and receive the needed visa and get the either TRP or RP, residency permit, or even citizenship, especially, yes, if you have your relatives in Russia living right now, but you maybe don't have a citizenship currently, maybe you have just a birth certificate, or at least you had a birth certificate. You can contact us and we will help you with the documents. But overall, it legally allows you to receive your citizenship. And there is also a special program that provides path to citizenship for people who had roots here in Russia. But there is also, like, for example, military service. People can enlist and get citizenship relatively easily, though, well, at a big cost. But we are not talking about that that much. So thank you very much for watching and listening for our stream. And now it is time to hear your questions, and hopefully there will be many of them, or they will be insightful. We're really open to any of them. Maybe they're not related exactly to our topic today, but related to the question of moving to Russia and what is, well, ask away, and please, we will be happy to discuss many other parts, and as I mentioned, in the following stream we will talk about work opportunities, and we will talk about the economy a little bit more, and later on we will cover especially in depth what are the opportunities to study in Russia, and what universities are here, and how many how you can teach your children here, what are the opportunities to homeschool, and how schools overall look like in Russia. So these are the topics that at least we covered are important to cover. So if you find something else you think we should cover, please share with us. We're really open to modify, I would say, our content and give you the best advice possible. So I see there are no questions, but again, you are welcome to share them later. So you can go to our website that you can see on the screen right now. It's livinginrussia.com. And you also can email us at contact@living-in-russia.com. And you just can call us, pick up a phone, and send us a message on WhatsApp or Telegram. We have a phone number that's also available on the screen. So please, we will answer your questions, help you any way we can. Well, at least we have limited resources, but again, you're welcome to ask your questions, and we hopefully will provide you with all the answers that you seek. And again, thank you very much for listening to us today. Don't forget again to subscribe to our channel and go to our Telegram channel, and we will talk to you very soon. Thank you, and have a good rest of the day, or have a good rest of the evening.